Hello there, folks. Hope you're doing well. It's a gorgeous evening here in the DC area. Beautiful blue sky, just about 74 degrees right now. Absolutely perfect. These next today, tomorrow, and I think the next day also, we're supposed to be really just perfect weather in the 70s. And then, yeah, just before this, and then looks like for the foreseeable future after that, it's just going to be obviously that normal, really hot DC summer weather. And in fact, it is almost summer. I think 3 days till summer, 4 days, something like that. Yeah, I think it's 21st. Anyways, we're getting close to summer, so I'm really looking forward to summer, of course, for the growing season. But the temperature is 95 degrees here. It's not the same as 95 degrees in a dry heat. It is crazy humid, but this right now is absolutely perfect. And I'm just doing a little gardening right now. You can see I I want to make this video because I moved this Sabal minor, and we got some stuff to figure out with the garden. I was thinking of putting it there, but I was thinking about actually if I do end up getting one. Getting a saw palmetto, I hope to put it there, so I want to save that spot for something else. Maybe I do put my needle palm there. These things are so slow growing, obviously eventually they get really big, but pretty big, but I'm not going to worry about that just yet. I think it'll do fine, and obviously eventually I could trim fronds away from the wall here, but it's just a temporary spot. I mean, hopefully it'll do well here long term, but obviously I can always move things around, but I need a spot to put it, and it was obviously getting choked out by the ground cover, and it just wasn't a great spot. It was really, really shady, and they are shade loving palms, but in cooler climates, and obviously we're not at all marginal climate, it's 100% bulletproof here, but you do sort of want to give them the sunny spot here. I mean, you can put them in shade too, but that spot, there's something in the soil that really made this suffer. My needle palm, of course, too. And it just, they put out this mature frond, which obviously it had this browning spot here, which thankfully has gotten a lot better, just sort of pushed it right out. But it's got this new frond opening up, which is nice and mature here, it looks like, as well. And then this one was its first mature frond. Of course, I had to trim away all those other fronds, which sadly died. And it's got this little taproot here, which I'm told only forms in the pots, apparently, because it was like that when I got it in a pot. But yeah, really cool. And the frond, especially from the back and everything, looks really nice. Looks like a mature Sabal minor frond, but obviously it's got that browning spot. And I'm just gotta wait till it matures a bit. And yeah, I look forward to seeing how it does. I think it should do a lot better in the spot. And as I said, they are fully hardy palms here. Got it next to this raspberry bush here, and so I expect it to do well. My other one's doing really well. And then I just got these Washingtonia repotted. I repotted them really sloppily because, first of all, it's surprisingly hard to repot these things. You got to sort of like put them in and just sort of fill the soil in around them. They were in smaller pots, this pot, and then another smaller, like literally a plastic cup. So what I did is I took the soil from those, which is just like good, normal generic potting soil, mixed it with this bag here, which is actually like compost mulch. So it's like from composted material. So it's really rich, but it's also like really hard and rocky. So which is actually good for these palms because they're from a dry climate. They grow in rocks and dry soil. So that's actually gonna be pretty nice. And then I feel like I mixed them with something else. And then I didn't even fill it up enough, so I had to get more soil just from over there. So just general clay soil from in the ground over there. So it's a real mix of soils here. But these are really tough palms. To be able to survive out, in the deserts where they get so little water, they have to be tough. So I think it'll do well. And it took me a while. And honestly, I never want palms to die, but I have so many palms here. I expect maybe some of them in a transplanting process might die. Some of these look really thin. It's hard to, it's just crazy how thin some of these stems are, but they're doing well, and a lot of them gotten chewed off, as you can see here. But these things just keep growing, and they're growing super fast. I think these are 7-8 months old now from the time I collected them as seeds. So it's not that long. My Sabal palmetto are over a year old, and they're smaller than this over here. So pretty impressive how fast they grow. Palmettos much slower, as you can see here. Oh my god! And by the way, this seedling here, which I think might be a camera op seedling, I did not plant this. This is from something I scattered. This is like it's crazy how this thing has survived, because I keep walking through here, and every time I walk through, I'm like, oh my god, there's a seedling there, and I keep not wanting to step on it, and somehow I just always miss it, which is good. I always afraid to step on it. I always don't step on it, obviously. This seedling somehow survived despite me walking through here all the time, so that's really awesome. Got these tracky seedlings here, and lots more Sabal back there, and I got to rip out some of these weeds. And as you can see, the Sabal minor, obviously unprotected, same with all my trackies. This thing did awesome. Putting in a new frond, so all's well in the garden. Tracky's really pushing along, and you can see these flowers, yeah, probably nearing the end of their viability, and obviously you need male and female. So this year I didn't bother. I was unfortunately very sadly in quarantine, obviously because I had COVID, right at about the time when they flower. So right at the time when I needed to go out and see if there were still any male seeds that were still viable to get the male flowers, I mean, to like get the pollen on there and then try to fertilize it. Right at that time I was in COVID quarantine, so that was unfortunate. But you know, I don't need seeds from this year. I have plenty of trachea seedlings to go around. So you can see these big spears looking absolutely awesome. This frond has been entirely, this was a spear just like a month ago, a month or two ago, and I'll push that out, really growing nicely, and it's amazing how many spears are on the thing. Yeah, as I said, I expect it to regrow most of what it lost this past winter, and then eventually I'm going to trim away those lower fronds. But that's the good news. Other good news, which is good news, I guess, from sort of bad news, but it, you know, it's not that bad. But when I was out in LA last time, you know, I was there for a day, and then I came back, and I was feeling sick. I came back, and I couldn't go to the appointment. Obviously, that's what I go there for. I'm part of a clinic there, and then it turned out I have COVID. So as I was feeling sick, obviously I couldn't go to the appointment. So now I have to go back out to LA. I know, real bummer going back out to LA, right? No, I'm super excited, but yeah, get an additional trip out to LA. I know it's almost like I live there at this point, but then I think it'll be like 4 months till the next visit. But anyways, yeah, so this Thursday I think I'm heading back out to LA yet again. So try to get some palmy videos in there, obviously. And obviously in LA, you know, and in any major palmy city anywhere in the world, no matter how good of a climate, you have the species that dominate, like Washingtonia robusta, Phoenix canarensis, etc. for LA. But I always try to get videos. You know, I always love Washingtonia robusta, no matter how common they are. You know, even in like Hawaii, I would still love to see them, even though they're invasive there, of course. But I just never get sick of them. And then what was I gonna say? In LA, I love to get like shots of them down the street. I think it's really cool, like where they line the streets. But sorry, there's a fire station right next door. Anyways, but what I try to do a lot of times when I'm out in LA, or like when I was in Miami, is trying to get also videos of some of the maybe more rare species, or ones that you wouldn't see as much there. Like you know, I have videos of lipstick palms when I was in Miami, so I try to get videos of some more rare palms. I don't expect to see any lipstick palms in LA. That'd be really amazing. But yeah, anyways, I try to get some videos for you guys, and yeah, I always trying to like scout out interesting palm places. I love seeing royal palms when I'm there. Those really are one of my favorite palms. I don't like to pick favorites. I won't say I have a favorite species, but I mean, I'd say definitely that's my top 5 species, without a doubt. One of my favorite palms, Washingtonia genus, absolutely gorgeous. And anyways, sorry, I guess that was sort of like a derail from the point of the video, but yeah, got these things repotted, and I know it looks really sloppy because it is, but yeah, I was gonna just throw some of them in the ground and give them a try for this winter, but yeah, I still got to think about that. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do with all these crazy seedlings that grow insanely fast in a climate that is 100% not suitable for them. So I probably should have grabbed a few less seeds when I was out there, but I can always sell some or discard some. I don't want to throw them away, obviously, because they're you know, I would never just blatantly throw away palm seeds. And these are pretty special because they are 100% pure filifera, because I got them right from the source, right from the Thousand Palms Oasis, which is, you know, not many people, you know, I mean, when you buy them in stores, often they're hybrids. So I think it's pretty special that I got some real 100% pure filifera seed. And that's the reason I collected them, even though they will not grow here, is so that when I do move to a warmer climate, hopefully in the future, I will save a few of these, bring them with me, and have some true pure filifera, and I won't need to worry about, you know, who the seller is and whatnot. But yeah, if you're ever on the desert out in California and you see those oases, it's really amazing. And it's kind of great because, you know, I in terms of palm naturalization, so I'm gonna go on another rant here and then I'll end the video. You guys, I don't have to listen to this if you don't want, but whenever I go out to anywhere where their palms are common, you know, and obviously in a lot of climates like southern Switzerland, for example, which people wouldn't expect, you have Tricarps fortunei naturalized, and it has sort of an invasive tendency there in some areas. I wouldn't say it's crazy invasive. It's not like it naturalizes everywhere, but I always kind of like to see palms naturalizing. And obviously, of course, I get that I'm a palm obsessed person, and of course there's some instances where maybe naturalized palms need to be removed because they can be invasive, but I'd say the only instance where I don't know, this is kind of, you know, the instance where I obviously don't, where it gets not upsetting, but where I sort of don't like it as much when palms naturalize is when they start naturalizing where they're not native and then hybridizing with the native palm species. So like what really annoys me is when like a Washingtonia robusta manages to make its way into like a wild filifera oasis where they're not native, because people have said that the two species mix, and like there's some oases where they actually hybridize, but I don't think that's true as far as I'm aware, because Washingtonia robusta is native to this very southern end of the Baja California peninsula, and then the very southern end of Washingtonia filifera's range only goes into the northern end of the peninsula. So I don't think they ever mix in the wild, but and as such, that's why I really it really annoys me when like a non-native Washingtonia robusta gets into a wild filifera oasis. And you see this occasionally, but it really annoys me when they get in there and then they start hybridizing and the whole gene pool's mixed up, because then you don't know which Washingtonia robusta have been naturalized there for a while. You don't know which is pure. Maybe you have a robusta, a filibusta that's been crossed back with a filifera many times, and it looks like a filifera, but it's actually got robusta in it, and it's not a truly wild palm. Anyways, if that makes sense, that's when I don't like it as much. And thankfully, Washingtonia robusta naturalize a lot, like along the freeways and stuff by the coast. They really aren't invasive, and they're not. I don't think they're crazy invasive anywhere in California, but in the desert, they really do not naturalize, even in the cities, but especially out in the oases, because the reason is a lot of the palm oases are pretty remote. They're up in the mountains. They're up, at the headwaters of a lot of the creeks out there. They're not like right by the cities, and you don't have any palms planted near them. You only have the wild ones. So that's pretty nice. That like almost never will you see a Washingtonia robusta start naturalizing in a wild Washingtonia filifera oasis. It's really amazing. You almost never see that. And I think there's like one or two instances of it in like towards the cities, but again, just because it's so dry, and obviously robusta, by the coast, they get more water so they can survive better, but also because the oases are so remote. So that's a kind of nice, it's almost like a natural barrier, like nature intended it that way. They wanted them to naturalize by the coast, but they sort of kept Washingtonia filifera more isolated so that it wouldn't naturalize. Anyways, that's just a random thought, but yeah, that's all to say that a lot of the ones you'll see on the market, like if people grow filifera, a lot of them tend to be hybridized. Sometimes they'll be Washingtonia filibusta, the hybrid, crossed back for several generations, and they grow so fast that they start setting seed at a really early age, so that they're easy. Like you can wait, within a person's lifetime, you have many generations of these palms. You can keep crossing them back with Washingtonia filifera until they look like a filifera. But I don't know, in my mind, maybe it's just the true palm enthusiast, the hyper, I guess, focused. Like I'm hyper focused on the genes, but for me, it's always gonna be a hybrid. So that's all to say that I prefer the pure stuff, the pure species, and I think that even if you cross a palm back many times with the one species that's been hybridized with, it'll always be a hybrid, in my opinion. So that's why I collected the pure filifera seeds. That's a really long story, but anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys are having a good I guess end of spring out there. To me, it seems like summer already, off school, and yeah, just preparing for next year and stuff. Got some work, but yeah, it's nice to have good weather, and yeah, looking forward to a trip to LA. Super excited for that. Super excited to visit some family. We got some more traveling planned. I know this is like past 2 years since COVID. Like right when I started my channel, or pretty soon after, is when we started like traveling a ton. We never traveled that much before that, even before COVID. We just traveled a lot more after COVID. So it's crazy. It makes it seem like I'm just like always in a different place, which I kind of am now. Like all the time we're traveling all over the place. But no, I know it's interesting. Lately we've been traveling so much, and it's been awesome. So I'm super excited to get back out to LA and see some family, and at a later point in the summer. So I'll keep you guys updated. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys are having good growing out there, and I hope your palms and exotic plants are doing well. If you have any questions, comments, please leave them down below. I really enjoy hearing from you guys, as always. I know it's been over 2 weeks now since I've responded to some of your comments. I've tried to get back to some. I've been so behind, and I always say this, but I need to catch up, and I'm gonna do it one of these days very soon. So I will respond to your comment, I can assure you that. But yeah, I want to hear from you guys. So have a good one. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe for more videos. Take care, stay tuned, and enjoy. Sabal Miner here.